We're sorry. We obviously lost the satellite connection there to Brooklyn, but we'll be checking in with Pat a little bit later. We can reestablish some kind of a connection with him. The Westchester County Executive, Rob Astorino, is seeking the Republican nomination for governor. He made that announcement in a video address today. He released the video, which takes a dig at Governor Cuomo's response to hydrofracking and political corruption.
We needed a decision on clean natural gas exploration to lower electric rates, improve air quality, create tens of thousands of new jobs, and billions in new revenue. But Governor Cuomo sat on his hands for 4 years and refused to make a decision. We needed a governor who would act when young women were sexually assaulted in Albany. Instead, he protected a political ally who used hundreds of thousands of our tax dollars to cover up the sex crimes.
Rob Astorino announcing for governor today, and joining us now our political analyst, New York Post state editor Fred Dicker, who told us yesterday this would happen. And Fred, I'm just curious, as I was watching that, what would be the motivation? Is this a more effective way to announce a candidacy, or is it just a product of the times than holding a press conference, getting a lot of agencies there, and maybe blasting it out that way? I'm just wondering, does it disseminate better this way?
Well, I don't know. It certainly lets them control the message, and it doesn't get, sort of upstaged by an answer to a question that he may not have fully thought out. I think they didn't want to do a press conference today, too, because it was Ash Wednesday. And they had originally planned to make the announcement, I believe, on Tuesday, maybe as a press conference, but then they fell back on this very controlled way of doing it. And as you noted, this is increasingly common. Could be regretful, maybe not. I think from their point of view, they were happy at how it went.
How effective was it?
Well, I think it's reasonably effective to get his message out. I think he touched on a lot of the points that anybody running against Andrew Cuomo should touch, including the fact that the governor talks a good act, but it's still the case that New York ranks last in a number of fronts with high taxes and a very negative business climate. And I think it's interesting he picked up on the governor's statement from a month and a half or so ago that certain extreme conservatives have no place in New York. He touches on that. He touches on the SAFE Act. It's clear that he also, as a skilled TV commentator, and he had a lot of experience in the media, that he's very comfortable just talking to the camera. He comes across as a regular guy in a relaxed setting. At one point, you see him with his family. I know the Astorino people think that Andrew Cuomo comes across as very hot and loud, and they think that he's Rob Astorino is a good contrast with that kind of extra strong sense of the governor.
Just had another thought, Fred. Today, and I'm wondering if it's coincidental, and I think I know your answer, I saw at least 4 spots featuring the governor being paid for by Andrew Cuomo to sort of tout New York State and his accomplishments. So the timing...
And some of them are being paid for by the state, by you and I. I was talking to someone down in Westchester from the Astorino campaign who said there are 5 commercials running down there. This is not a coincidence. I've seen this done for many years. They're coordinating it. They also coordinated a number of attacks on Astorino today from women's groups, pro-abortion groups, gay groups. What you're going to see, in my view, with the governor having some, $35 or $40 million in the bank, very soon we're going to see a lot more. And I suspect the governor will unleash a lot of negative attacks on Astorino, the theory being that you tried to define your opponent negatively before he has a chance to define himself positively. And we know from the polls that Astorino is not well known, and he certainly doesn't have the kind of funding that Governor Cuomo has.
Well, he starts his campaign tour tomorrow, and we can talk about his progress or lack thereof as he goes to the state. Thanks, Fred.
Absolutely.
All right. Fred's on the radio live from the state capitol weekday mornings 10 to 11 on Talk 1300 AM.